Okay, so the first child I'm going to go through is my oldest. He's going into the 7th grade. He's going into middle school. And that's super exciting and a little scary. He's just growing old so fast. Growing old. Anyway, we're pretty excited about it. And like I said at the beginning of the last video, I'm giving them more and more leeway in choosing their own curriculum and their own topics and everything as they get older. So this time I pulled together various science curricula for my son to use. I wanted to have some good transition science for him to lead into high school, but I gave him several choices with different styles, and the one he picked was Apologia's Exploring Creation with General Science. So this, I'll show you guys in more detail what it looks like on the inside. But this is the student text. Here's the notebook that goes with it. I found some places where you can buy the whole, because it does come with labs, and he is going to do the lab. So I found a place where you can get the whole lab kit that comes with it. So it's all in one place. I don't have to look for materials. So I'm going to get that. So he's going to be doing that, and he is very excited about it. We did get the audio that went with it. We got the superset. So this has the audio so he can listen to that to reinforce what he's reading. And we got the videos, and the videos have the author of the curriculum walking through some of the different teaching points and experiments and things like that. And it also comes with the tests. I haven't opened these yet. It'll be interesting. Other than math, we have never really done a whole lot of tests. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. But we are pretty excited about it. They do have a full online version of this curriculum, and I was pretty tempted by it, but he preferred just to do the paper and the DVD videos, or MP3 videos, I guess. Anyway, he preferred to do the paper version of it. So I'm excited about how that one is going to go. It's one of their brand new, newly updated curriculums, so I'm excited to see how that goes. The other thing is he's a science kid, and this past year, he did this, General Science 2 from Master Books. They have a General Science 1 here, and he asked to do it as well. Now, this can be a full junior high, high school curriculum as well. We happen to have, so do you see the books there? Do you see the books? Do you see them? We have all those books. Those are fantastic books. I didn't grab them and poke through them, but if you ever just want to have some really good creation science books to have around your house for reference and for your kids to pick up and explore, get that set. We love it. It even has levels labeled. For most of them are labeled color coded so you can see for which level which kids should read which sections. So he is asked to do it. Like I said, this could be a full junior high, high school curriculum with labs and everything. That's not how we used it. Since we already had the books and we were fairly familiar with them, he's just reading through them and using this as a discussion guide, basically. He comes to me after he's done reading. He jots down some notes from the questions that he wants to remember, and then we get together and we just talk about it, and we don't really do the activities. So that is what we're going to do with this time as well. So it's more of an independent reading and discussion curriculum about science that he's going to do in addition to his full Apologia General Science curriculum with labs and everything. Okay, so for writing, usually he does writing strands for Master Books. He really likes that curriculum. I like it too, but he kind of just wanted a change of pace this year. So he asked me to look around and see if there was anything else that was, similar, but just something different. So I did a lot of research, and what I ended up with was Jump In. This is from Writing with Sharon Watson. This is a Christian curriculum. It's one of Kathy Duffy's top picks. It gets really good reviews. It's a 2-year middle school curriculum. I actually think that this is a great one to transition into if you tend to do more Charlotte Mason style language arts like we do, even though my oldest son really liked using writing strands, which isn't necessarily Charlotte Mason, although you can adapt it for that purpose. But anyway, he already started using this. He really likes it. You can make it a 1-year or a 2-year program. We're going to go ahead and just go at his pace and make it a 2-year. And that is working really well for us. So We may end up going back to writing strands when he's done with that. Okay, and then we're doing Christian Light Education Math. We veered from that the year before last, and it just didn't go well, mostly because online curriculum for math just doesn't work for us for various reasons. What does work for us is Christian Light Education, so we came back. This is the level 1. This is what my younger kids are using, but I just wanted to show you what the picture looks like. These have 10 little booklets per level. So he's just moving on to the next level of Christian Light Education. It's a spiral approach. It's very straightforward. It has a ton of practice questions, and I just cross off the ones he doesn't need. But he really likes it, and it works well for all of my kids. So we're going to continue with that. He is also doing visual Latin. Now, Latin was one of those subjects where I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't really need to do that. That's just so extra. I'm not doing that. And I was totally fine with that. But Compass Classroom has this video series. They actually just came out with the second and third video in a series. But the first one we bought this last year, and we watched it all together. And my kids just loved it. They love the instructor. It's called Word Up, and it's a vocabulary with Greek and Latin roots. So if you want to kind of venture into Greek and Latin roots, but you don't want to go full Latin curriculum, definitely check those out. It's like a game show style. We really loved it. He liked it so much that he wanted to do Visual Latin, which is by the same company and the same guy. And this is a 2-volume course. The first volume will take all year, as far as I can tell. So we started it, and it's going really well. So far, he really likes it. I'll do a review for you guys sometime about this. But it's a streaming video. We also have the DVDs if he wants to do the DVDs. But it's a streaming video that you log on and watch the video, and then it has, these are printable worksheets that I printed out and a checklist at the front so he knows what to do each day. And it's going really well. So another thing that my son is doing that he's continuing from last year is Spelling Wisdom and Using Language Well from Simply Charlotte Mason. Now these I like to start in 3rd grade, and we work these into our loop schedule so they're not done every day. You could use this as a standalone curriculum for a lot of different pieces of language arts because it focuses on transcription for 3rd grade for about the first half of the first book. And then it moves on to studied dictation. And if you research a little bit about Charlotte Mason and studied dictation, you'll kind of get an idea of the philosophy behind how that teaches different parts of speech and grammar and spelling and composition and all of these things through having them study, and then dictate really good quotes. And they can start very simple. This is a short letter from Abraham Lincoln, for example. And the idea is, that they study the words and the grammar pieces that they're not sure that they're going to get right, that, they might struggle with, and you can talk with them, and there's different ways to study them. It could be just to visualize them or to write them out. There's suggestions, of course, at the beginning of the book about how they study it. And they could study it for several days or just once. And then the idea is then you read it out loud to them piece by piece in phrases, and they copy it out, and their goal is to spell it and have correct grammar for the whole thing. And if, then you just study it again, whatever sticking points they have, you study it together again. So it's a very simple but effective way to do language arts. I really enjoy it. Of course, my kids have these other language arts pieces that they enjoy doing sometimes too. But to me, notebooking and oral narration, and notebooking is really written narration. And then dictation, studied dictation you can teach a lot with just those things. So I try to teach as much as I can with those pieces. And then when I feel like they either need or want some extra help in different areas, then we add some things. So for my oldest, my upcoming 7th grader, what he's been doing for, I think, a couple years now is Phonetic Zoo. And Phonetic Zoo is from IEW, and it's a spelling specific curriculum that's for auditory learners, because it basically does dictation. It reads them, it spells out loud the words, and then it dictates it to them, and they spell it, and then they go check their work, and then they do it again the next time. And the idea is they have to get it perfectly I think twice fully, perfectly before they move on to the next one. And then interspersed in those lessons, they'll have a personal list, which is, things that you've noticed that they commonly are misspelling. You would add that to that week's list, or past Phonetic Zoo words that you wanted to pull in for review, and you would build a list that way, and then they would do the same process, and you would be the one dictating to them. It is very effective for him because he's an auditory learner. He's a very strong auditory learner. It is not at all effective for my other kids so far. My 5th grader, when we tried that with her, it was tears, she didn't like it, and so we just dropped it because we don't need to use that method of teaching her that. Okay, so my oldest is also doing piano lessons. Our piano teacher is doing remote lessons for us, and that's still working pretty well, so we're going to continue doing that. He's also continuing with SkillTrek. SkillTrek is an online or downloadable life skills curriculum, and it basically, we teach life skills through daily life, but there's a lot of things that I would have never thought to intentionally teach him, and so this program does that, and that's worked into his loop schedule. So when it comes up, he just opens it up and works on the thing that he's been working on, or the next thing in the list for his grade level or developmental level, or the things that I've picked for him to work on. And so it's been good. He's been learning to cook things. He's been learning to oil the squeaky wheels, or the squeaky doors, not the squeaky wheels. Okay, he's doing typing lessons through typing.com. It's just in his loop. He's doing devotions with mom. We have this devotions with mom task in their loop schedule that they do. And what we're doing varies depending on the kid and what we've already finished. For him right now, we're going to go through, we started going through a book by Kay Arthur that's about how to study your Bible. It's inductive Bible study. We meant to do it last year and we just never got around to it. So we're going to go through that together. And then when we're done with that, we're going to go to Doorpost materials. We use a lot of Doorpost materials for character study and Bible study that's, more individual and one-on-one with our kids to work through different, sticking points that they're having. It's very effective. So we do that when it comes up. For some of his electives, he did photography last year with schoolhouseteachers.com, and he wants to continue that and might pull in some other courses or materials or books that he wants to read to get better at photography. And he's gone on a couple trips with his cousin to practice, and that's going well. Another thing he wants to add to his loop schedule for electives is an entrepreneur course from Visionary Entrepreneurship. They're more for a little bit older kids, like upper, middle, or high school, but I was talking with the creator, and he says he thinks that Sharon should be able to do that as a 7th grader, so he's going to try it out. It's a really cool online entrepreneur class it's a full year course, and it's Christian and it's very thorough, so I'm excited for him to give that a try. He's also got in his elective loop schedule Innovator's Tribe. Innovator's Tribe is an online a set of engineering courses that are online for various ages, and he's already done a couple of them, and he asked to do that again because he just really enjoyed that. So we're going to add that in. I'm not sure which one yet he's going to pick because they have a couple different ones. And then another one that's on his loop schedule, this is one I added, is Masterpiece Studios Art, or Masterpiece Society Art. We've used that. We have a membership to that, and so we've used it for a lot of different art projects for multi-level teaching and had a lot of fun with it. But they have a couple courses that are particularly for older kids. One of them is a drawing course to teach them, go through step-by-step how to draw. And so he's going to be doing that one. And my 5th grader is going to be doing that one as well. And then finally, just Schoolhouse Teachers. That's where, when we feel like things are dragging a little bit or we need to spice things up, that's where we go and they pick out something interesting to learn and some elective to add to their rotation. So those are the pieces. Most of those are on probably about half of the things I just mentioned for him are on his loop schedule. So, they come up once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on the item. Okay, so for 5th grade, my daughter's going into 5th grade. She is a big reader. We're going to spend some time this year working on her composition writing, mostly through notebooking. She was doing writing aids last year, it's a writing curriculum that goes with Tapestry of Grace, and it was fine. It worked well. I liked it. But we're not going to be using Tapestry of Grace this year, and it's kind of closely connected with that. And so this year I'm going to mostly be teaching her myself different writing elements, punctuation, grammar, sentences, paragraphs, papers, etc., how to write letters, how to do all the things. From what I know and from some, reference resources I have, using her notebooking, because she does notebooking for Bible, she does it for history. So we're going to focus on her writing skills in the context of her notebooking, which is one of the main things that notebooking teaches. So I think that's going to be great. It'll really simplify things. She doesn't need to add another curriculum to her thing. So my oldest, my 7th grader, he loves to just have a list and have the curriculum and open and go and do the next thing and then get done. My daughter, on the other hand, she's kind of a dawdler and a dreamer, and I don't really feel like I need to push her. She's still only in the 5th grade. I don't really need to push her to do more and more academics. So I get her to do the things that are the most important. I tweak things to fit her style, and then the rest of it I try to teach in those simple ways through notebooking and oral narration and dictation. And so that's really effective for her. So for her, we're going to be doing notebooking and focusing on that. We're going to be doing her Bible drawing journal. Her Bible drawing journal is something I created, and it was, let's see, where did I put it? Okay, so she is doing her Bible drawing notebook. This is the Bible drawing notebook. I created this for her. This is the Old Testament version. I haven't created the New Testament one yet, but basically it's a 1-year survey of the Old Testament, and each page at the top says what the topic is, what the story is she's reading, and the chapter she's going to read. It's almost always a full chapter of the Bible. She reads that, and then she draws a picture, and as you can tell, she really likes to draw cartoons. Sometimes it's just one picture. She's very creative. And then on the back, she writes a very brief 1 to 2 sentence description of what she drew or something that was interesting about the story, and then another sentence that just praises or prayers, like a prayer request. And, even through just doing that, she's gotten a lot better. She was just really ignoring all punctuation and spelling and grammar. And it wasn't that she didn't know how to do it. She just wasn't doing it. And so in this simple, gentle way, in a way that she enjoyed, we were able to work on that skill, and she improved a lot. So she is doing that. She's also doing the Bible road trip journaling, although I don't have her do as many pages of that because she's doing this as well, and because she's a little younger than my older one. She's also doing handwriting, a reason for handwriting. She finished this up a while ago, and she's on to the transition one that transitions from handwriting to cursive. We really like this one. This is the one my younger kids are doing, but handwriting, a reason for handwriting really doubles as copy work, which is what you do before you get into transcription and dictation for Charlotte Mason style language arts. So, but for her, she just needed some extra practice with her handwriting for legibility's sake. So we started her on that a couple years ago, and she's continuing with that. She's doing typing from typing.com. She has her piano lessons. She is also doing Christian Light Education math. She is doing her devotions with mom. We went through last year some sex ed resources from Intoxicated on Life, which are very good, talking about puberty and all of those things. They have one more book that's about relationships that I want to do with her this year, and otherwise we'll use Doorpost materials. She is also, my oldest was doing the loop schedule with SkillTrek, that life skills platform. She's going to be adding that to her loop schedule this year. We used to do them all together as a family on our home blessing days on Saturdays, but I just found that with the different levels, it's actually easier to just work it into their loop schedule. So she's going to do that this year. She is also using Spelling Wisdom and using Language Well, and going slowly at her pace and with loop scheduling. She's doing the art drawing course that Sharon is doing. The 2 extra pieces that she's doing is Logic of English. She's going to be doing, we already started doing the online version of Logic of English, which is newer, and they have right now anyway, they have the first several units first several lessons of the first 2 units free. So we've just been trying that out. We already had the books in the paper version of Logic of English. It's a very good program, but it's rather teacher intensive. And so when I saw that they had the free online version, and she had asked to start practicing more, she was interested in learning some of the rules for spelling, which is not normally something I really do with the kids. So I knew we had Logic of English, so I went ahead and pulled it out, saw the free videos. We've been doing that. It really does help to instruct. So should we do it together? I'm learning along with her, and we're watching the videos and everything. Or I'm doing stuff in the kitchen while she's doing it, so I'm following along. But it helps to take some of the instruction from me. So we're learning it together and we're going along with it, and I can answer questions and instruct her. But the main instruction piece with the special hand motions and everything that they use is being done for me. So I'm not entirely sure if we're going to continue that or not. But right now it's working, and so we're going to keep going with it, and I'm going to see if it's effective in helping her the way she was hoping. And then the other piece is the My First Kitchen binder, which I did not bring over here, but this is a binder that I created. There's one for boys and one for girls. It's a simple binder, but she is, she likes to cook. She likes to watch cooking videos. And so what she's been doing is finding cooking videos or getting some from her grandma, and then cooking things for the family, and then putting the recipes in her binder. And so we're going to continue doing that and start focusing more on putting them into the binder so she has a cool keepsake at the end, and it will help her practice some of those skills like spelling and all of those things at the same time. So that's what she's doing. My 3rd grader, so she wanted to do Grammar Galaxy this year. I let her pick some more things, just like with the older 2 kids. And it's funny because she picked things I wouldn't have expected. Not that she picked curriculum I wouldn't have expected, but she picked several things to do at once instead of just one thing. So I went ahead and decided, okay, well, we'll just do it and we'll see how it goes. And if it's too much, we'll just scale back here and there. So what she picked was she wants to do Grammar Galaxy. Grammar Galaxy is something we've done before as a family, and my older kids have done it independently a couple times. So she wants to do it. It is a gentle, whole language arts curriculum that goes through a storyline of space, kids in space, and she just really enjoys it. So she is going to do Grammar Galaxy. She's going to do her narration and notebooking. She really hasn't done a lot of notebooking. So this year we're going to be practicing that a little bit more, just starting really simple with a couple sentences each day, notebooking something about what she listened to in our read alouds or a Bible story or whatever it is, and start practicing on some of her language arts skills. And she's doing her piano lesson. She's doing Christian Light Education for math. She's doing a Reason for Handwriting, the next level up. She's kind of on level with her older sister for that. She's doing typing lessons in her loop schedule. Devotions with Mom, this is something that she hasn't been doing before, and so this is the first year she's going to be doing that, and we'll be using Doorpost resources for that. She is also doing the Logic of English online lessons, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have her continue it, but she saw her sister doing it, and she thought it was interesting, so she's doing it. And it's interesting because she is picking up on spelling that she just didn't really care about before, and I didn't really feel like it was necessary to worry about it. And so she's noticing things that, how things are spelled, and so she's catching on by observing more closely just because she's doing these online lessons for Logic of English. So we'll see how we're going to do that. I gave her choices, and she also wanted to do Spelling Wisdom and Using Language Well, which she hasn't done. So we're going to put that all in a loop schedule basically for her, so it's not overwhelming. So she'll have her Logic of English and Spelling Wisdom, and her notebooking will be in a loop schedule. So she'll be able to do one of those each day. I think it'll work out well for her. So then the next one down is a 2nd grader. My 2nd grader has a touch of dyslexia, and so this was the first child where doing Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons was not so easy, and it didn't work at all. And so we had to backtrack and went to all about reading, pre-reading, Then we did the 100 easy lessons. It didn't stick at all. So then we went back to all about reading level 1, and we're doing that right now. We're toward the end of that, and that is working really well. We're doing it at his own pace, and sometimes we split things into split a lesson into 2 days. But that is working really well for him, and he's making a lot of progress and gaining confidence in his reading skills. And he's still doing some reading things backwards and things like that, but it's improving a lot just for him being careful and slowing down and not feeling rushed. And so we're going to continue with all about reading level 2 when he's done with that. He has been doing the oral narration. He's not really ready for any sort of copy work. He has been doing, not copy work, for dictation. He's not old enough for that yet. But he has been doing a reason for handwriting, which, like I said, is great for copy work, and it's scripture-based, so he's learning good things while he's doing it. So he's just going to advance to the next level for that. He's doing Christian Light Education for math, and we'll be advancing to level 2 for that. And that is about it. One thing I did realize with him is he's a very physical, hands-on kid, and we have a lot of playtime built into our days. He's got lots of brothers to play with. He gets lots of activity. But I decided that this year I'm going to put on the list for myself mostly STEM challenges, and go look up some STEM challenges, like building challenges. I've seen them online everywhere. We've mostly just done Lego challenges, which we really like doing, and we'll still keep doing those. But that's just something we do for fun as a family, and we do Bible Lego challenges. But I'm talking about more STEM challenges where he's, building towers from toothpicks and marshmallows and things like that, or building a catapult, or, here's this thing, take it apart and tell us how it works, or however. So I'm going to work with my husband and build a list of those things, collect some projects or kits or ideas or whatever, and try to have him do those. I think he'll love it, and he'll really enjoy it, and it's educational too. Okay, then comes my first grader. So actually, this last year, I was saying that I was teaching 2 first graders, and I really was. But my 5-year-old right now is the one who is doing first grade level work with my older son, who is 7 right now. He's just at different places with different subjects. So with reading, he's reading at a 2nd grade level, and he's doing read alouds on his own and chapter books and all that stuff. With math, he's going to be going into 2nd grade math with his older brother, and he's just right on the same level as him, and going at his own pace. That's what he's doing, and we're going to keep doing that. But that's pretty much all we're going to do with him. I don't really feel the need to push him, so we're just doing things at his own level. He was doing Simply K from Master Books, which is more of like a curriculum. I have a video review I'll leave for you guys on Facebook. But it's more focused on developmental milestones and life skills and things, rather than so much letters and reading and math, although it does have some pieces like that in there. And he just really enjoyed it. So he's going to finish that up. We started a little bit late last year, but he's going to finish that up. And then he's going to continue with oral narration, which is, it's taken him a while to do that. But he's starting to catch on and learn how to be able to narrate back to me in his own words what I read, instead of just saying, I don't know, or needing me to drag it out of him, or just answering, Jesus. So he's making progress with that. And he is doing a reason for handwriting, so he's just going to go to the next level for a reason for handwriting, and I'm going slow with that with him. We split, a lesson into a couple, and those are short lessons. So, and then the other thing is he's going to be joining his youngest brother in his activities, which is totally new, but it's more of a preschool level. So he's kind of doing 2nd grade all the way down to preschool, depending on the topic. So for preschool, my 3.5-year-old, normally for preschool we don't do a lot. My preschooler last year did, what is it called, Stepping Stones from Master Books, and he enjoyed it, but usually I just keep some Rod and Staff preschool and kindergarten books on hand, so that they have or maze books, so that they can have something when they want to do school with their older brothers. So I still have those, so he can use those when he wants. But the thing that we're adding this year that I've never really added a formal preschool curriculum, but we're going to be adding a year of playing skillfully from the homegrown preschooler. I'm really excited about it. The kids are excited about it. They pulled out the binders and they were looking through it and looking at all the interesting activities and getting all excited about the things that they were going to get to do with Elliot. And, Elliot's excited about it. And I think what I'm excited about is just, with so many kids, we don't do as much of the really simple, fun activities and art projects geared for my littlest one. And it's just fun, So I'm looking forward to just adding a fresh, funness to our homeschool again with this curriculum. So we are going to be starting that. I just got it in the mail. It's beautiful and gorgeous. They also have, I think it's called a summer of playing skillfully. So we're in the middle of August almost here. So I probably won't be doing that until in the summer, but you can do a whole year of playing skillfully and then go into the summer, and they have a planner and a helpful book for parents, and I'll give you guys a full review on all of that. But we are really eager to get started, so I've been pulling together the materials for that and looking up fun little videos and everything to go with it. We're really excited about it. So that is our homeschool year. That is a lot, but it's going to work really well. Our loop schedules will keep everything moving forward. Everything else is pretty much just advancing, other than a few big changes like Biblioplan and a year of playing skillfully and those and the Apologia General Science. Other than a few big things like that, most things we're just continuing with the next thing or changing it up just a little bit. And I think it's going to be a really good year. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to leave you a bunch of links, but if I miss any, I have a whole post that links all of these. If I miss any, just let me know. Tag me, let me know. I'll make sure I give you guys the link. And let me know if you have any questions. And I hope you guys have a fantastic homeschool year.